Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, it's the first day of my 4-day weekend, and I've decided this weekend that I'm going to finally break down and paint the master bedroom. Let me show you what I have in mind. The first thing that had to happen was that I wanted to pick out the colors, and the most colorful thing in here is the bedspread on my bed. So I kind of figured, greens and browns and oranges, kind of earth tones. And I originally went to Home Depot and selected these colors. But when I got them home and looked at them, I just wasn't really into them. A little too drab for me and a little too dark. I wanted something a little bright and poppier. So what I did is I went back to Home Depot and I picked these colors. And I think this is going to look a lot better. It still matches kind of with what's going on in the bedspread. The light green kind of goes in with the leaves. The dark green goes here. So I think this is going to be a better choice, more light in the room, and I think this will look really good. So those are the colors I've chosen. The light color is going to be for the wall. The dark color is going to be for the crown molding and the trim on the baseboards and stuff like that. And then, as usual, I'm going to do white on the ceiling. Now, I've been thinking for a while that I want to do something weird on the ceiling, and you guys really don't know this that much, but when I was in my house in California, there were a couple places in the house where I did weird things on the ceiling. On the ceiling downstairs in the living room, for instance, I had it painted a dark blue color, and then right in the middle of the room, I had a big bright yellow figure 8 on the ceiling. And also in the guest bedroom upstairs, what I did is I created a spiral pattern of a light blue and dark blue that kind of spiraled around the ceiling fan. And it was kind of a cool effect. And like I said, I've been doing pretty normal stuff in this house so far. But I wanted to do something I think weird in here, but I'm not quite sure yet what it is. So I think what I'm going to do initially, I'm just going to paint the ceiling white, and then we may come back and revisit this in some point in the future and do something weird. But for now, we're going to keep it very traditional. And this is the color that's in here right now. I think in a lot of cases, when people sell their houses, and I think this is probably an example of that, when they get ready to sell the house, they end up repainting the house, the interior right away to kind of make it more, I guess, appealing to the sales market. I know I had to do that, and sometimes the colors they pick are kind of bland, and I noticed that when I moved into this house, most of the house was painted a gray color. Apparently that is very, very popular today. I guess they think it makes the house feel modern. I think it makes it feel cold and like a prison cell, but this was actually one of the less offensive colors in here. It's kind of a tannish yellow color. It isn't bad, but one of the things I don't like about any of the paint that they put in this house is that they use kind of a matte finish. I like the house to have a little bit more of a glossy finish, so the walls kind of reflect light. In fact, now that I'm looking at this, you can actually see up there that there's a little bit of the color that was originally in here, kind of between the wall and the crown molding there. So that's sort of evidence that they kind of did some stuff right before they moved. Just to make the house maybe look more sellable. But like I said, this is my house now. I don't have to listen to what the realtor says. I'm going to do what I want, and I want to make it my house. So we're going to get going on this, and I think the first thing I got to do is get everything out of this room. This is actually one of the few rooms that isn't fully unpacked, and I got some stuff on the ground here that hasn't been unpacked, and just this is kind of the last refuge of placing things in the house that haven't had any other place to go. So we're going to get this all out of here, and when we put it back together, we're going to put some stuff on the walls. Probably a lot of this stuff that's pictures and stuff like that will end up on the walls, and hopefully we'll have a little less junk floating around here at the end of all of this. So let's get all this garbage out of here. Basic cleaning in here just to kind of get anything off the floor. And I think we're probably the next step here is going to be to put the paper on the floor so we can protect the floors. I also want to cover up the windows so I don't get paint on the windows. I'm actually going to leave this headboard in here because this thing's a little bit too big to be moving around. But what we'll do is we'll cover it with a tarp or something, and we'll just be able to move it around as we need to keep it out of the way. But we're kind of hitting the end of the day at this point. It's starting to get dark out, and honestly I'm a little bit hungry for dinner, so I'm going to do that. But don't fret, because this isn't the end of the video. You don't have to wait for the next video to see what comes next. All you got to do is wait for the next scene. See you tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day, and we are going to continue on with our setup for the paint. As you can see, I got the whole kind of back half of the house here. It's kind of a mess right now. I got the cat room is filled with all sorts of stuff. I've got the shelves out in the hallway here. But this room is pretty much ready to begin the prep work. Now you've seen me put paper down on the floor, so I'm not going to go through that process again. I'm also going to put plastic on the windows, remove the electrical outlet face receptacles and tape them up, remove the ventilation register here. We'll paint that because you can kind of see that's kind of an off color, kind of a yellowish color. I'm going to take the blades off the ceiling fan, take the fixtures off the wall for the blinds and for the curtains that are in here. We're going to patch up some holes that were left by the previous owners. I don't know, there must have had some sort of a shelf up here or something like that. So I'm going to remove those, patch those up. This used to be an old fire smoke detector fitting. I removed that because I put my own smoke detectors in here. You may recall those are the smoke detectors that I actually bought for the apartment when I lived in there, and since the apartment management wasn't willing to pay for them, I took them with me. So that's going to get taken all down, and like I said, we'll tape up the floors, and I think we'll be ready to start. Hopefully we can get going with the painting of the ceiling tonight or today. So let's get going with this. I'll catch up with you in a little bit when everything is finished. All right, a couple hours have passed. I've got basically all the holes that I'm going to patched. Obviously that's where the smoke detector goes, so I'm going to leave those there. But I patched the holes up in the ceiling here from the old smoke detector. Patched the holes here. Covered up the windows real good here. Cleaned up that. Now, I'm actually going to put the drapery rods back up, but when I got this thing pulled down, there were so many holes up here. It was just kind of a mishmash of holes, and I just made the decision that I'm going to, just start from scratch, just going to clean everything up on here, and we'll drill our own new holes and get everything attached properly. I've also pulled all the electrical outlet covers off and got the floor all taped up. So I think the next thing we're going to do here is start painting the ceiling. I always like to work from the top down. Got the register off of the HVAC. So this room is ready to go. I think the next step here is to paint the ceiling. So let's start with that. Alright, so I think that's all that I have for today's video. Come back next time and we're going to start painting the walls and we're going to get the rest of this done. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.